Hello, everybody. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rachel.
And this is So I'm Watching Only Murders in the Building, Season 2, Episode 9, Sparring Partners.
Really wish she just got it
sick. Yeah. Finally, we're here.
Yeah.
I agree. I think she should have hit him in the face. I think it also, I don't know, because it took me like 2 seconds after he started talking about the podcast to realize what was going on.
Yeah.
I think she should have realized sooner.
Me too.
Yeah, okay.
I'm like, Miss Puzzles.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Please. Okay, so we're gonna start I guess close to the beginning. There's like kind of a lot of things going on. Mabel and Charles are trying to figure out who is actually the mastermind, because even though Detective Kreps is glitter guy, which she keeps doing the sign for,
I love that.
for glitter, and Charles does it, he goes, "Oh, it's kind of fun," which is exactly what she said to Theo in the last episode. So they're trying to figure out, because he's just like a dumb cop, essentially. They're like, there's no way he like facilitated this whole thing. And they're correct. So they're just trying to figure out like who is at the top. And so that's kind of like the whole thing. And then Oliver brings, oh God, what's her name again? Mrs. Gambellini, the bird. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The bird is down because it just keeps saying, "Go fuck yourself" to him. Hilarious. He also tells them that he is Will's biological father. He says he got the results and that's the answer.
And that he is Greek-ish.
Greek-ish, yeah. And then he says all the European countries are the same. I will give you that you could really be a mix of any Western European countries.
Yes.
And it would mostly be whatever. But the further east you get, the like, Greek is not the same as Irish.
No, big no.
At all. So, anyway, he's trying to leave the bird with Charles, and they're like, no, and they're fighting over it like old men. Or, like I always like to bring up, the fountain fight scene from the first Bridget Jones movie.
Oh, yeah.
Just two like professional middle-aged businessmen, like, having a slap fight in
just
the middle of nowhere.
And pulling, yeah.
So they end up slamming it into something, and a little panel opens on the bottom of the birdcage where obviously the original painting is, which is great. They're almost identical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the only signifier was the tear on the back of the canvas.
Yeah. Charles tries to get in touch with Bunny's mother, Lenora was her name. Yeah. And he ends up calling the like home where she's supposed to be living, and it's definitely not her.
Yeah.
She's like never left. It's a totally different woman. So he realizes what we should have known all along, which is that Shirley MacLaine is Rose Cooper.
Yep.
She is not Lenora.
Like the fact that she literally just kept saying, "I want my painting.
My painting,
Where
yeah.
is my painting?"
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it was right there.
Yeah. the my painting of it all is like also not like it makes a humongous amount of difference, but like I don't think Shirley MacLaine is supposed to be reading old enough to be Bunny's mother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's 88. That's not nothing, but it doesn't. Bunny was like not elderly, but she was like an older woman too. So I don't know that how
early 70s. I would venture, I guess. Yeah.
Sorry to that actress if we're being mean.
I mean, you look great though. You look very pretty.
I don't know. Oh,
Jane Howdyshaw.
Yeah. Let's just take a little break and see. 1953. So she's like almost 70. She's 69.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 88. You could. You could. It's possible, especially in 1953.
Yeah.
But regardless, it makes a little more sense that they're not related. So he does track down Rose though, so we get Shirley MacLaine back in this episode. He makes her the Cocotini again or whatever. So fun. Love that. They have a really, really beautiful set of scenes together. I just love Shirley MacLaine.
Me too. She is the embodiment of this.
Yeah, glitter.
I feel like she just really, she doesn't do a lot, but the little bit that she does, it's so satisfying.
Yeah. She's a very naturalistic actress.
She really is. I mean, she makes a meal of any scene that she's in, but it's not too much.
Yeah. We're going to go watch Terms of Endearment after this.
Okay.
No, but I just love her. And I think because Steve Martin is a comedian, I think he's never really gotten the credit as an actor that he necessarily deserves. And so watching them go off each other. And especially this week, Steve Martin did an interview where he said that whenever Only Murders is over, he's basically going to retire.
Oh, really?
And so I am devastated.
Oh.
But it was really lovely watching him act against another kind of like titan of the industry and the same, generation.
Chills. My God.
He basically was like, I don't know, it just sort of feels like this is it. And I was like, this is an excellent note to go out on.
For real, yeah.
Anyway, it's all really lovely. She basically has him take all the nails out of the back of the painting because there's another painting underneath. And she tells him that she made the like sex painting for her, but the painting underneath was for Charles's dad. And it's just a picture of him as a little boy holding hands with his dad and then looking at the Arconia. So precious.
So nice.
She also says that like his dad was trying to like protect her from a violent marriage essentially, and so she had to like disappear herself in order to protect everybody involved.
Yeah. So that answers the question as to why we saw Charles's father covered in scratches and
get arrested.
Yeah.
So I really just thought all of that was beautiful. And then at the end, we see that he does have then the painting of him and his dad. It's not hung up yet, but it's like sitting in the place where the other painting was. It's really lovely. I really like it. It's really cute. Meanwhile, Oliver goes to talk to Will about the production which still has not occurred, this production of The Wizard of Oz, this children's production of The Wizard of Oz. Apparently it's all falling to shit. He also tells Will that it's like, I'm 100% Greek, so like, you're definitely my kid. It's, blah, blah, whatever. And then he gets back to the Arconia, and then Teddy gets in the elevator with him, and he just starts wailing on him. I love this. There was obviously no question in my mind that Teddy was his father. Obviously, right. It's real. And Teddy is so confused. He's like, what the fuck are you? Why are you hitting me? He's like, they're kicking each other in their old man bones and everything. And he just is like, you're my son's father. That's obviously why I'm kicking you. Also, I always forget his name. Howard gets in the elevator for like one floor. And because he sees them fighting and he almost doesn't get in. But then he does. He's like, no, we're fine. He gets in. And then they start fighting again, and he just like pushes the next whatever is the next button to get out. He was like, good luck with whatever's going on. Bye.
Be safe.
Yeah. They basically end up at Oliver's apartment, and they just sort of like are debriefing about the whole thing. Here's my issue. I think Oliver's too trusting
about the fact that Teddy's not going to keep it to himself.
I don't think so.
I have high hopes.
I can't decide how far are we past the I'm going to fuck you when you least expect it from Teddy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, are we done with that?
I would hope so, because it's like...
But I'm not so sure, because he basically is like, I only have one favor to ask you. And even then, Teddy was like, I thought aren't we square? Like, you get me arrested and I fucked your wife, like, back in the day or whatever. But how deep does that grudge go?
Yeah. But I don't know. They just had such a nice scene where they just kind of like really came to terms with everything.
Yeah. I don't know. Because he also was like, I told Roberta, the mother, that she can't tell Will either.
Well, I could see it happening where him and Teddy would be fighting, and then Martin Short says something about him being Will's father, and then Will overhears it.
Yeah.
And then Will is mad at both of them.
Sure.
So I could see that happening.
Yeah.
More than Teddy being like, "Hi, I'm your dad."
Yeah, because there was that scene.
Yeah.
I don't know what to,
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's only one episode left this season, so if it did it already get another season?
I don't know.
Yes. So I guess it's something that doesn't need to necessarily come out next week, but we'll see. I guess the only really other thing is Mabel.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Just Alice coming over to Mabel's.
Well, sure. So first, though, that happens after she's at the boxing ring, right?
Before.
It's before. So yeah, Alice, she goes home, and Alice does show up again. So it's like, I guess we've gotten our money's worth with Cara Delevingne. It seems weird to have cast someone so specific for this role that kind of turned into nothing.
When we hit credits, it says starring Cara Delevingne. So I don't know.
She's got a good agent, at least.
Unless she's like roped into Cinda Canning somehow. Because what if Alice went to Cinda to like get more shit on Mabel and then kind of like stumbled into stuff because she's crafty. Maybe. And then that's why she put that podcast in the puzzle. She has too big of a role to play, I feel like.
Well, it's too big of a role and she's too big of a name.
Yeah.
To be this much of a like brushed under the rug, like a brushed away character. Regardless, she brings her a puzzle, just as sort of like a gift.
Yeah.
To try to like apologize, I guess. And she's like, I'm not trying to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt you. I like mostly believe her. I also believe that an artist can get so swept up in their own bullshit.
Yeah.
That they like don't realize necessarily what they're doing. That doesn't make it right. I just can believe it. So she ends up she finds this boxing rink where Detective Kreps works out.
Called Excessive Force.
I think it's a cop.
I know, but that's gross. It's terrible.
He talked about interviewing teenage girls last week.
I know, but it's like, yeah, guys. Whoa.
She goes there. I love that she is like not backing down.
Me too.
From him. Mm-hmm. She basically is like, I know what you've done. Like, how did you know that we were going to drop the glitter? How'd you know this? How'd you know that? Like, how do you know all these things? And she also keeps just insulting him. All of the boxing insult at the beginning.
Great.
So she was like, are you done? I love boxing movies and puns. I could do this for hours.
And you and I have talked about this off screen, but so no, this is no shade to Selena Gomez whatsoever. She's just not my favorite actress. I like her as a person. I think she's really great. But like, I feel like a lot of times Mabel can be very flat and very deadpan. That 100% worked for me this entire scene.
Yeah, well, she should absolutely be as flat and deadpan as possible because if he thinks for 1 second he's getting under her skin, it all falls apart. It's like a house of cards.
Yeah. So it really worked for me for the first time, I think, this season, where I was kind of like, fuck yeah, Mabel, let's do it.
Yeah. The new season of Selena plus Chef, I think, started yesterday. So,
No.
So they are kind of going back and forth. And at one point, Detective Kreps has the voiceover for the episode, talking about like when you meet that one person and how like he makes $85,000 a year. And while that sounds like a lot, in New York City, it's definitely not. Yeah. I agree with him on that. So you like take odd jobs. It's sort of like on The Flight Attendant where they all moonlight for like regional airlines too. Mm-hmm. So I really liked that. And he was like, and then you like meet some person like randomly and it's like the perfect person. I immediately knew I was like, it's Cinda Canning. It can't be anyone else. So, but Mabel is coming at him in this way that's like, she is trying to like get him on the wrong foot. And he's like, do you really think I'm going to just like let something slip? And then he fucking totally just lets something slip. He brings up Cinda's podcast, All Is Not Okay or whatever, that started the series. It's like what starts the Charles Oliver Mabel friendship. I also take a huge issue with him making fun of her name, the name Mabel.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm sorry, you Irish New York City cop, you don't know what a single person named Mabel? I don't buy it.
I was sitting there watching it and I was like, I know someone named Mabel. Who is it? And I had to undo the knot in my brain, and it was my grandfather's ex-girlfriend. Her name was Mabel. And I'm like, oh, that's right. I forgot.
You go back 3 generations, fucking everybody was named Mabel.
Yeah, seriously.
Give me a break. Regardless, he starts talking about like stupid ass podcasts and how like he likes good podcasts, like All Is Not Okay. And I'm like, you're obviously banging Cinda. And so as Mabel then is putting together the puzzle from Alice when she gets back to her apartment again, she starts listening to the podcast again, and Cinda says something about a chicken restaurant.
Chicken Chug,
which there has been like multiple pieces of clothing in the clues they found that have this weird chicken on them.
My whole thing is, why didn't Mabel take a picture of it and then do a reverse
Google image?
Yeah, like What do we? That's so much easier.
I don't know. Do you think the chicken restaurant in Chickasha, Oklahoma has
It's a franchise, I'm
website?
sure.
Is it?
Probably.
Maybe. It has a very sleekly designed chicken logo to not be a franchise.
Yeah.
So you're right. And so she basically kind of puts it together that like Cinda is involved somehow. So she goes back to Poppy
Which is smart
podcast studios.
Because she was Poppy last time we talked to her was like, I know where all the skeletons are buried.
Yeah. And Poppy immediately is like, I shouldn't have said I could help you last time. Like I like spoke out of turn, all this stuff. And Mabel is like, you have to like, you said you know stuff. I think, you know, this is all involved or whatever. And I don't remember now the woman's name. Becky something.
Becky Butler.
Yeah. Was it just a disappearance or was it?
Betty Buckler.
No, Becky.
Something like that.
It's Becky for sure.
Becky Butler.
Butler?
Yeah.
So she basically... Okay, I don't remember about Becky. Was she murdered or was she missing?
I think she was just missing.
Just missing. Okay. So she was like, Mabel is like, I think all of this is wrapped up in what's happening to me. Like, I need you to help me. Like you know about Becky. Like, I need you to like help me. And she was like, no, because I'm Becky. So Poppy is Becky. And then we get confirmation that Cinda and Detective Kreps did meet in Oklahoma while he was stealing evidence and planting it in the woods.
Yeah.
And it was just like a single hair, too.
Yeah. I don't know.
Real weird.
I don't know. No idea.
Yeah. I am very interested in all of that. I am then also assuming that Cinda and Detective Kreps have been framing Mabel and Charles and Oliver.
I would assume so.
But why?
I don't know. That's why, like, I know we said last week where I said that I was hoping that we were going to get way more information in this episode.
Yeah.
And while I feel like some answers,
we got a lot of information.
Yeah, but I still feel very like, I don't know what's happening. And so I feel like this next episode is just going to be like, boom, 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 like of everything.
Yeah, I need to know who killed Bunny. Like,
me too.
Like, I have no clue. And at this point, it simply can't be Oscar's father. So I was wrong about that for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just
No, I have no idea.
I'm very curious. Because also Mabel just flat out was like, how's your arm since I stabbed you after you attacked me? And he's just like, whatever. And like, he doesn't do.
Okay, stupid.
Yeah, it was really nothing. So I don't know. I really, really liked this episode a lot. It like brought a lot of stuff around, but there are still things that we need answers for. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah, like the smaller minutia of it all, like I feel like we kind of like tied everything up there, but still the big thing.
Mm-hmm. I think we tied up a lot of like personal, emotional stuff, and now the final episode will be about who actually killed Bunny.
Mm-hmm. My brain hurts.
Yeah, it's a lot to think about. I still, unless it's Detective Kreps and we just like, they're going to give us that we've known that for 3 weeks. Yeah. I have no other ideas about who it might have been.
Yeah, I don't know. No.
And we still have Howard's sneezing boyfriend.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There's so much. My brain.
So I don't know.
My brain.
Yeah.
It's
a lot. It's a lot.
I have no idea.
Well, yeah. So that's it for today. We will be back next week for the finale.
Yeah.